Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brotherly Banter. I am your host Corey. This is Courtney. Today's episode I have promised to not go off. Obviously due to circumstances, certain events and companies, I have my choice words. So I have decided to be at peace with today's episode and not gloat.
I literally hate you.
And not gloat
so
or
much.
go off as I told you so. I'm not going to do that.
It's not.
I'm not done. Okay, fine. It wasn't.
It wasn't bad for you to say I told you so.
What's your scale?
Out of what? 5 or 10? What are we doing?
Remember, out of 10.
7 or 8.
Wow. I will generously say 6. And that was fair because I told you that in order for them to see. Let me finish. I know I tend to. It sounds like I just find reasons to go off on them, and that's not true. I have had a history, tumultuous relationship with them, and it just builds up, adds up, like a bad divorce. But no, okay, I'm gonna say they did well. They showed games, gameplay. They did not show gameplay for the mistake that they made last year, which is my main gripe. But, however, multiplayer looks good. That looks fun. It was Halo Infinite, sorry. And as far as the actual, I thought that they were going to come out, show the game, the fixed gameplay, and they did not. Which I have a theory. A working theory. I could be wrong because I know they have an Xbox event coming up Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Thank you. I feel like I have reservations. They should show some stuff there. But I feel as though they're not going to show any gameplay for this game and just allow you to buy the game. And then good luck. So yeah. Oh, and it's day one. Obviously Game Pass comes out day one. So you're good there. Forza called it. It's gonna be this year too. I already knew that was gonna happen. Stupid game. What was the game? Starfield. Next year, 2022. So that's good. So yeah, some good, decent showing. The reason that I put them to a 6 is because I assumed that last year they had gameplay for Halo, and it was terrible. And then this year I figured to redeem themselves, they would show what we were getting, and they did not. I have my theories. Working Corey theories, as I like to call them. But yeah. There's also Square Enix. That wasn't bad. That was all right. Guardians of the Galaxy. However, the Black Panther DLC or expansion pack, you get Black Panther in a whole story mode with him. War for Wakanda, beautiful video, loved it. Make Way for the King, beautiful song. Should have came out sooner, but maybe I don't know if this is gonna save them. I don't think so, but it looks like it'll be fun to play as Black Panther. Yeah. I mean, if overall, if you want to give both companies like a grade, I guess they kind of boost each other up. I guess that would to me, that would give them at least an 8. The non-gameplay for Halo, yeah, that was rough. That was I didn't even expect that. I just assumed they were going to tank. But that, wow, you guys had some balls on you. You excuse my part of my language. So, kids watching.
It's not even as bad.
It depends.
It's not even close to.
Can I finish? Did you wanted me to run this? All right, thank you, Courtney. So yeah, oh yeah, and Xbox, you got some nerve. All right, you got Sony because they have their own catalog that they're doing, and people have to buy the game. You got some nerve. You're just now getting games. You got to never talk to somebody about their mistakes.
Are you done? Matter of fact, you're done. You just sit there and be quiet.
I am
because you are way off the mark.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
it's a personal opinion. How am I off the mark on my personal opinion?
To me, Microsoft had the best showing of E3
so far.
Plus, no, not even so far. They had the best showing at E3, and to me, what I wanted to see, I got, and they hit their mark for me. Yeah, they didn't show campaign gameplay, but that's that's fine to me. I'm not that worried about it. Multiplayer, they did a deep dive today for it, and it showed off more information and stuff for it, which is fine. Gameplay wise, I'm not that concerned with it. Obviously, we didn't see it, and we didn't get a release date. That's fine. It's still coming out this year.
For Halo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What else? It's still this year, fall, probably November. I'm gonna guess middle of November or early November. Then they went with Stalker 2, which comes out next year. They show extensive gameplay for that. That looks really good. Starfield got its first trailer. I think they said it was actual in-game footage, from what I heard.
Okay, that's nice.
But I'll reserve on that until I actually see gameplay, which will probably won't be until next year or maybe during the Game Awards. It just depends what they do with that. But that's the game's RPG style stuff, probably like an open world, outer space type of thing, customizable characters. So I think that would be good. I'm not really too worried about that. Forza is obviously Forza, looks good graphic wise, and the company who was making Forza is the same company who was making the next Fable. So I'm pretty sure we won't see Fable till obviously next year. I'm gonna take a wild guess. So graphic wise for that, I'm not too concerned. Fable has always hit its mark for me. Some of the other games, Back for Blood coming, Game Pass. They won their new game by, I think it's I want to say Obsidian. I forgot what company's making it, but it's a new game they're making exclusive for Xbox. And my whole thing was, which I said in the previous videos, I'm not concerned with the beginning. I'm not concerned with Halo, and I'm not concerned with Starfield. It's everything else that they show. And to me, a lot of the games that they showed, they hit their mark. There's games that are coming out this year and the games that are coming out next year and beyond. And there's obviously still a slate of games that they didn't show, because I'm just going to assume that they didn't have anything to show for it, or they weren't ready to highlight it as far as gameplay or cinematic trailer, because obviously if they show certain stuff like they had Avowed and let's say Hellblade 2, people would expect, or they would want to see gameplay or a release date for it. And obviously if you don't have that ready, then you shouldn't show it, pretty much. So for me, Xbox did its job. They lined up their games coming out or soon to come out between now or between the fall time and obviously next year. If you're into Sea of Thieves or Grounded, there's stuff for that too. Once again, I think Xbox hit its mark for me. That's all I wanted to see was what their lineup was, and they still have tons of games that they haven't showed that they're already in the making for. So they have a stream Thursday at 1 p.m. So maybe they'll show some other stuff or talk about some things. If not, it's whatever. I'll wait until either Game Awards or next year for E3 for that. As far as Square Enix is concerned, I know people didn't like Square Enix, but trust me, there was worse streams going on during E3 week. So Square Enix for me, I think, was okay. Final Fantasy Origins and Babylon's Fall were two games, I think, graphic and art style wise, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of, but I'll reserve judgment until the games come out, obviously, to play. Final Fantasy Origins has a demo currently out on PlayStation 5 that you can download. And then Avengers, Wakanda, I don't even care. I honestly did not care. They played the whole music.
It comes out August.
I like the song, don't get me wrong. It's a good song.
I downloaded it. It's a really good song.
I already had it on my Spotify. But it's a good song, but I really don't care.
I think it's a little late.
Yeah, I really don't care about the Avengers. Like when it showed up and people was like, oh, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna play it, I'm excited. I was like, I don't really.
I was excited.
I did not.
I didn't.
Zero care. Am I still concerned? There's still no Spider-Man.
I think that's why I'm gonna play it, just for the fact that they didn't put Spider-Man first.
And they started Life is Strange. I'm gonna play that. I love the series, so I'm gonna buy that day one as well as play the remastered DLC. When I normally don't play remastered or revisit old games like that, but I'm gonna play it. They started off with Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, in all honesty,
go ahead.
I'm concerned only because of Square Enix, and they already started off bad with Avengers. But with Guardians, I can think of other characters I would have rather preferred for a single player game. No, you stay out of this.
But I have something to say.
Nope.
Let me say, it's back and forth conversation. You can't tell me.
For your stupid rant.
It wasn't as long as yours.
I know. I'm going to a deep dive. You just went to negativity.
I'm just saying.
What? Fine. What?
If you think about it, I know you say that there could be other Marvel characters that could win, but with their track record, I think they picked the right group of people to go next, seeing as their track record hasn't been that great. I would have been more pissed if, let's say, they would have done like a standalone Iron Man or a standalone Cap or something, or whatever other character you think. I think they picked the right group to do this with, seeing as the track record was bad.
The gameplay looks boring.
That's my point. Which is crazy because Guardians of the Galaxy, they're not boring things.
Exactly my point. So when the trailer started off, and I was like, where's this going? And I heard the name, I heard Peter, I was like, well, it's not Parker, because that's already taken. And then they said Quill, I was like, no. Like, Lord, no, don't do this. And then they show Guardians. And
they're doing it. They're doing it.
The gameplay doesn't look that interesting. I get you're supposed to have all of them together.
He's like, you control them, yeah.
You control Peter, but then you use commands.
Yeah, to others, yeah.
It's a single player game, story driven, which fine, but for me, for Guardians, if they were going to do a Guardians game, it should be co-op or an option for co-op to allow you to play with your friends and do that. And like they could have did the route with Marvel Alliance. You just pick a character, even if it's only two of you. You can just one person.
Go ahead.
No, you stay out of it.
No, but it has to go with the more Avengers game.
What?
I feel like they took things from the Avengers game and said, all right, we're not going to do it with this. But the problem with that is that the thing that actually worked as far as having your friends play with you, they didn't add it to the game that you actually needed people to play with you.
They're already starting off bad. And not only that, the game's $60. I'm not paying $60 for that. I don't care. I already know the reviews aren't going to be that good. The gameplay looks boring. No co-op. The commands look okay.
He was
I don't know. It feels like there's too many commands. I feel like there's a command for each character to do. The story, I guess, could be okay in a sense. The villain is all right. But for a Guardians game, there should be co-op, and there's no co-op. Outside the game being $60, I'll wait for it to go on sale, or if I'm eager to try it out, and if it's on Xbox Game Pass, then I'll just re-up my Game Pass subscription and play it there. But I'm not shelling out $60 for that game. There's absolutely, positively no way. I'm 100.
Want to play it together?
No, absolutely not. I don't even think I will watch the streams or YouTube videos for that. That's how much I don't care.
I think the funniest thing is when they showed the gameplay, that worm-looking thing was going over him. He was like this, and he was like, how he turned to shoot like this. I was sitting there like, this is going so well.
Like,
they are going
people are like, take away the Marvel license from Square Enix, and I'm almost on that board.
Why almost? I was on the board with Avengers.
Wait a tiny inch a bit more to see.
Who else can they ruin?
No, I'm talking about just for Guardians. I could be wrong. Guardians could come out and the reviews could be like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 type of game, but I highly doubt that. It's like you go from how Insomniac is doing Spider-Man, and you get Spider-Man and you get Miles, and both were pretty much Game of the Year contender games, or wasn't a Game of the Year contender game. And then you're looking at the next Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2, coming out whenever it comes out. And then you look over at Square Enix and you see Marvel's Avengers, how bad that's doing. Yeah. And then you see Guardians, like...
That's great. I think it's like the graphics, the gameplay are just night and day.
Yeah.
And I get with Spider-Man, it's a lot of city. Here's my thing. That's not even an excuse, because with Guardians, it's a lot of galactic, cosmic stuff, and each character.
I feel like I know Insomniac already has a lot of games they're doing. They just did, or they have the Spider-Man stuff, and they have their other catalogs of the game. But for me, they hit the nail of an open world New York game, Spider-Man.
Yes.
So to me, if Square Enix has open world games, so to me, especially Guardians of the Galaxy should be open world.
I know.
To me, they deal with.
I agree.
Stuff. So even if you only gave them like 4 planets. I'll be okay. You can travel each planet, have it somewhat big.
Okay.
For you to travel.
Yeah, open world. I see your point.
And do side quests, hunt. I mean, they're in a sense like bounty hunters sometimes.
Yeah.
You can have different stuff. You can have a big villain. Obviously, you won't be able to tie it in to Insomniac unless you just randomly call them up, like, hey, can we tie this to you guys' universe, and just do that.
Yeah.
But to leave it a single story-driven game, and it doesn't even seem that interesting. But I feel like it's going to sell somewhat only because of either Marvel fans or if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. It's still gonna sell.
It's gonna sell. I mean, yeah, I mean, any game will sell.
Yeah.
It just really depends on the game.
Yes.
You know, like there's a lot of games like on Steam and they look really bad reviews, but obviously they have bad reviews because people bought the game to try it out.
Yeah.
So with Guardians, it's the same thing. It's now you add Marvel. Now you add the jokes that are in the punchlines and stuff like that. You add the game play, and people are going to try it out because it's Marvel. They're going to want to see, okay, where is it connecting to? What does it do? How does it roll? My issue my main issue with that game isn't so much the character design I kind of got over because you look at Avengers. Yeah, it's fine. They're not going to look identical to the movies or the shows.
And the raccoon.
Oh well, then that's apparent. You can't mix up a tree like that. But no, my issue is I control one player, but I have commands for everybody else. It would be more fun if it was they just took the same thing from the Avengers thing and just had it.
Like even then, I would have been okay with how everyone's doing their own thing in Guardians, where everyone's free roaming.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a lot. I don't know how it obviously is going to play out, but it seems like a lot of command buttons.
Yes.
For each.
Because you can hear him say it.
Yeah.
He was like, Groot, tie him up, a bind.
Yeah.
Gamora, slice or something. Somebody use ice. Like, I don't know what was going on after a while.
Square, once again, I know people said Square had a bad showing, but in all honesty, I don't think it was that bad compared to Ubisoft and Take-Two, and they had a Verizon thing.
Oh, Take-Two was great.
But we'll talk about all that extra boring stuff in the next video.
Take-Two was great.
So, this E3, man. I'll talk about it in the next video, give my overall thoughts
Take-Two
on
was so great.
E3, but we still have Nintendo and Bandai left, so hopefully they, at least Nintendo.
I am looking forward to tomorrow. A lot.
Nintendo's supposed to be 40 minutes, and I think most stuff is the stuff that's coming out, I think, this year or maybe early next year, too.
Yeah.
So for Nintendo, all I really care about, like I said before, is the new console, if they decide to show it. And obviously stuff running on there, and then Bandai is Bandai, it's whatever they show.
Here's the
Because Bandai will show probably another trailer for Scarlet Nexus.
Yes, obviously.
They better They better show the demons for the demons.
Because you guys gave us school outfits.
It's E3, man. I'm
just really enjoying all of this at this point. Like, I've learned, you know what?
Honestly, outside of Microsoft and probably Square Enix, this E3 is just terrible.
I took your advice. I'm looking at the positive side of things now. I'm going to laugh at them, but I'm going to look at...
I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with Microsoft and Square Enix, but
yes,
people go into E3 wanting to see games, updates for the game.
Of course, as they should.
Actual gameplay, because
it's E3, a game show.
It's a year for it's the one time of the year or the main
where companies set up to show their stuff off.
To show stuff that comes out.
It's like a showcase, yes.
Yeah, and to me, a lot of this stuff hasn't been a good showing of what comes out this year.
Take-Two was so amazing.
And, I mean, Nintendo and Bandai's left, and then you have Steam Fest, and there's still probably some PC games that they haven't shown or whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's only 3 known conferences or technically 2 that we know of. One is EA, and I think it's like the middle or the end of July. Then you have Gamescom, which is like the end of August. And, whenever Sony decides to peek their heads in and be like, all right, here's you guys' conference. And outside of that, once Gamescom hits at the end of August, you're in the fall season because games start dropping in September and beyond. So we're missing gameplay for Halo. We're missing the next Call of Duty. We're missing
For shame.
Sony stuff, even though technically we already seen Horizon, which is fine.
Yeah.
Then it's just a cluster of what's going on.
I'm loving all of this. I need you to understand. Like, because I told you, in the last video, I said 2020, Game Pass. Things happen. However, now you're here. You had a year and a half to get this right.
Like
nothing.
And people have been saying this is why Sony skips E3 because it feels like these companies still weren't ready or prepared to show off, minus Microsoft because they had their eggs in a basket to show, and then minus Square Enix because they had stuff to show. Everyone else, I feel like, was just like, oh, E3 time. Oh crap!
I have a Bandai question for you, before we head out, because I'm loving all of this misery. I laugh.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm super excited for Battlefield. I'm glad Elden Ring has its release date.
Yes.
I'm glad Lost Ark drops this year. The other Amazon MMO, New World. I love MMOs. I'm still waiting on Predecessor to drop, and they keep friggin' dropping teasers like a bunch of jerks instead of a release date. But whatever. Halo, I'm gonna buy. Dying Light. Don't make me hit you. Don't make me hit you on camera. Ubisoft, I'm coming for y'all next year. Dying Light, I'm excited for. We got more gameplay about that.
Oh, good. This is great.
I feel like I'm drawing a blank. What's that game? Life is Strange, early September. The Destiny DLC, which I'm pretty sure they'll reveal that later on because this should be the fall expansion. So there are games that I'm excited for, and then there are games that are just, we don't know anything about.
Before we close.
Yeah, Bandai.
On a scale from 1 to 10. And at this point, I'm hoping for failure, so I can laugh. How mad are you? How upset, frustrated, angry, all of them, are you going to be if they show Demon Slayer? And you get no villains. How are you gonna be? No moons.
I'm not buying it.
Not a upper, not a middle, not a lower, not their children.
I'm not buying
not an egg.
I'm not buying it. If I go into watching Bandai tomorrow night and I don't see not a slither of a demon,
not an eye symbol, nothing.
Not a teaser, not a nothing.
Okay.
And if they come, so it's tomorrow, and then if I wake up like Saturday, or if it's like Saturday or Sunday night, and they drop a trailer, we squaring up next year.
Man.
I'm going to E3, and we fighting at the conference.
Who's we? Oh, I have my own people to fight. No, you're right.
I'm going to Bandai. I'm going to Ubisoft.
I'm going to Xbox.
But they'll show Scarlet Nexus because that drops.
That's the main. Yeah, I think that's their
next week. I think actually.
Is it?
The 25th. I'm pretty sure.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. They'll show Scarlet Nexus. They'll have to show Demon Slayer. Maybe any Dragon Ball Z DLCs or something.
I mean, they should. Now, saying they have to is like their choice. Now, no. The right choice would be to show a full gameplay.
Because that's like them going into the conference tomorrow and they start off recapping all of the heroes up until now.
And that's what you're going to get.
And then it gets a release date.
Yes.
And everyone just like...
I think that's what you're going to get. I think you're going to get, and I'm loving all of this because I'm going to laugh so hard. I think you're going to get a flashback trailer of all of the of the things. And then it's going to make it into some cool mashup monitor. And then it's going to be like release date and off. I'm going to look at you like...
Yeah. It's gonna do. You think they're about to spiral into like the villains next?
No.
Or they'll give like some stupid thing.
Is it this year it comes out?
Yeah, it should be 2021 and all the trailers.
So it's gonna be. I'm gonna say
October.
I'm gonna say September, October.
I'll say October only because the anime will probably drop in October. I think that's when the season starts. No, season starts like September. I think
no, the season's fall.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Oh,
of the month. Well, after October.
Well, I see them putting in September or October, regardless of when it starts, because I don't think they're gonna. Like I told you before, I think they're gonna stop at the movie, and then that's it. So, anywho, but yeah. All right.
Yeah. So Xbox and Square Enix to me did their thing. Everyone else was trash. E3 was booty. We got 2 conferences. Technically, I guess 3 if you want to count PC. Not PC. God, PC Game Show was still bad too.
You know what's so great about this?
We still got
Because I thought I was gonna rant.
Bandai. We still got Bandai and Nintendo.
Oh,
Tuesday
God.
morning. This video will probably be past that.
Oh, man.
And then Steam Fest, if you want to count that for demos and stuff. Tune into the next video as we cover the rest of this.
Next video will be Nintendo and Bandai.
Yeah, and then it's probably not gonna take us that long to do those two. And then we're gonna talk about the rest of the trash showings. Yes.
The video will probably be longer if they don't show those moves. And the greatest part about this, I thought I was gonna rant.
I'm not bringing it up.
So wait, I am.
I'm telling you this right now. If Bandai doesn't show the upper moons, I'm skipping Bandai. We just going Nintendo.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
In fact, if Nintendo don't show that conference, we're skipping them too. I'm gonna start the video like.
Wait, if they don't show the what?
The console. If they don't
All right,
show no
so now I gotta hope for no console, no upper moves, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna sit this video by myself and love every minute of it.
They don't show either one. I'm like, welcome to another edition of Burley Banter where we're not covering the rest of E3.
Oh,
anyways,
gosh.
like, comment,
This
and
is so
subscribe.
Oh.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think
amazing.
about E3. How do you feel about the games? Anything you got excited about? You know, it's weird. The best showing was probably Summer Games Fest, and it wasn't
even part of it.
Yeah.
It was like a pre-hype party.
Yeah, and at this point,
It's like a tailgate party.
They should just keep the pre-E3 party just in case the rest of the show is trash again next year. But until next time,
yes.
we will catch you later for another edition of Brotherly Banter Rants on Game Company.
It's so angry. It's so angry.
Start it up.